Imagine a continent at a crossroads, a place where ancient resilience meets modern upheaval. Across Africa, storms are brewing, battles are raging, and alliances are shifting. This isn't just history unfolding, it's a seismic transformation of a people's destiny. Wait and watch till the end. Because what we are about to reveal now might cause us to take down this video soon. Imagine this. They labeled Africa the poorest continent in the world, and when we ask them to leave, they refuse and started calling us as ungrateful people. Now, what if I tell you at just the start of the year, the heart of Africa bleeds again? Terrorist strikes in major cities in Chad, Benin, Niger, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso. It will be surprising to you that these are recent attacks. Yes, you heard me, in these 5 countries, and one would question, what is really going on? Why this sudden unrest in the year? Let's uncover this. On a quiet morning, on January 8th, 2025, Chad faced a brazen and chilling assault at its very heart. An attack on the presidential complex in N'Djamena, the symbol of its power and stability. Gunmen stormed in, opening fire on government officials and soldiers, leaving a trail of bloodshed and chaos. 19 lives were lost that day. The capital, usually brimming with tension beneath its calm surface, was thrust into shock and uncertainty. Shockingly, the attack came just hours after China's top diplomat left the palace. President Mohammed Deby was inside when the attackers struck. Think about that. Attackers got within feet of Chad's president. Chad's people, its leaders, and the world watched in disbelief. How could such an audacious breach happen in the core of government power? Even after the death of President Idris Deby in 2021, the military's grip on power has not wavered. His son, Mahamat Idris Deby, now leads a transitional government. But the question looms, can Chad ever escape the shadow of military dominance? Same unrest is also happening in Niger, Benin Republic, and Burkina Faso. The rising insurgent and terrorist activities along its northern border, particularly with Burkina Faso and Niger, have exacerbated security challenges. Despite efforts to bolster defenses and secure the region, the increase in terrorist attacks from groups linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the failure to address the root causes of instability have left the country vulnerable. In a separate address, President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso spoke about the challenges his country and its environs faces, especially from terrorism. Just recently, Nigeria, Togo, and in Burkina Faso, at least 28 soldiers have been allegedly killed in an attack in the northern part of the country. Authorities said that the attack took place near the border, with insurgency hit Burkina Faso and NER known as Point Triple. In a statement, the country's National Guard chief said that the attack was a hard blow to the security forces and added that the position attacked was one of Benin's strongest and most militarized region. This unrest didn't stop there. Gunmen have killed at least 5 Cameroonian soldiers and wounded several others in the village of Backing Joe, Cameroon's border with Nigeria. But wait, are you still surprised? We aren't surprised anymore, Assimi Goïta of Mali boldly declared. ECOWAS and the terrorists, they are one and the same. In a fiery address to the nation, the Malian head of state drew a shocking parallel, accusing ECOWAS of employing tactics no different from those of armed militant groups. When armed groups encircle a territory, they blockade entry, cut off food and medicine, and trap people in a stranglehold of desperation, Goïta said. ECOWAS does the exact same thing. He pointed to the harsh sanctions imposed on Mali and Niger, restrictions that starved nations of resources and lasted for 6 grueling months. The only real difference, Goïta concluded with chilling finality, is that one holds guns and the other hides behind diplomacy. But in essence, they are no different. But really, Is this true or false? In an aggressive move by these fearless leaders of Sahel nations, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso have unleashed a seismic declaration. By 2025, they will abandon the CFA franc XOF and forge a new currency of their own. This isn't just a shift in monetary policy, it's a defiant break from the shackles of French influence, a calculated move toward reclaiming economic independence in a region long tethered to the euro and controlled by France's hand. For decades, the CFA franc has been a symbol of dependency, its leash tightly held by Paris. But the leaders of these Sahel nations have drawn a line in the sand, declaring the time for submission is over. Why remain bound to a system that limits our freedom while enriching another? They ask. The announcement comes against a backdrop of military coups, rising anti-colonial sentiment, and escalating tensions with France. The new currency is envisioned as more than a financial tool. It's a symbol of regional solidarity, autonomy, and a rejection of foreign domination. President Ibrahim Traoré added while given a resounding response to Emmanuel Macron's recent remarks about Africa, turning the spotlight on the lingering chains of imperialism and the unrelenting fight for true sovereignty. His words strike at the heart of the relationship between Africa and France, revealing uncomfortable truths about the hidden mechanisms of control that still grip the continent. I wish you a prosperous and victorious New Year 2025, President Traoré began, addressing his people with a message steeped in hope and resolve. This year must be one of transformation, of breaking free from imperialist shackles and reclaiming our destiny as Africans. The fight against imperialism must be relentless, woven into the fabric of our daily lives. He underscored the bravery of Burkina Faso's forces battling external threats orchestrated by shadowy foreign hands, praising their resilience. Meanwhile, he lauded the hard-working farmers and herders striving for food independence, supported by the Ministry of Agriculture's unwavering efforts. But he also issued a stark warning. The most difficult battle is within ourselves. Decolonization is not just a political struggle, it is a mental one. To truly break free, we must shed the colonial mindset and embrace our roots. President Traoré turned his attention to Macron's candid remarks, which he described as both a revelation and an insult. Macron's talk of dissolving French military bases in Africa, he explained, is nothing more than a strategic rebranding. France is not leaving. They are merely shifting their presence, hiding behind embassies and security firms while maintaining their grip on our resources. It is a game of smoke and mirrors, but their intentions remain clear, Traoré asserted. He didn't hold back in his critique of the colonial defense agreements signed at independence, calling them the crux of the problem. These agreements have always been designed to undermine us. They are the invisible chains that keep our armies weak, our leaders compromised, and our sovereignty out of reach. Breaking these agreements is the only path to genuine freedom. Drawing from Burkina Faso's own struggles, President Traoré recounted how military advisors embedded within their institutions eroded the army's capabilities, fostering dependency and despair. Their goal was clear: weaken us so thoroughly that we'd have no choice but to accept their continued domination. But we fought back. We took responsibility and removed these advisors in 2022. That decision marked the turning point for our army and our nation. He exposed the insidious practice of training African officers in France, only to have them return as agents of foreign interests. These officers are not trained to serve their countries but to uphold France's agenda. Even in death, they are honored not as heroes of their homeland, but as those who died for France. This is the reality of the agreements we must dismantle. Traoré's address crescendoed with a rallying cry. Macron's words are a stark reminder of the work we must do. He has shown us their strategy. Now it's time to act. Africa must rise. We must take responsibility for our future and refuse to be pawns in a game designed to keep us in chains. As his speech closed, one truth echoed louder than the rest. This is not just Burkina Faso's fight, it is a call to action for all of Africa. The battle against imperialism is far from over, but under leaders like President Traoré, the spirit of resistance burns brighter than ever. What's your own thought on this? Drop your comment, like, and subscribe to our channel.